What's up, everybody? We're live. This is Real Talk on a Sunday afternoon. Happy to be with you guys. I'm, of course, joined by Jack, aka Kinoflex, and TomFoe. How you doing, Tom?
Yo,
Turkey
what's
Tom?
up? Turkey time. Don't put that evil on me.
How
His
about you,
files
Jack?
just dropped.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it's a nice Sunday. Looking forward to talking about movies. In my own neck of the woods, there's some drama, not related to me, but I'm going to be releasing a video on it in the coming week.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a second. But today we're gonna go ahead and transition into today's film, which is Jeffrey Epstein's bedroom cam. We're gonna pull up that footage now. No, I'm kidding. Crazy stuff going on in the real world. So we thought, what better to do than talk about some underrated movies to pass the time until the end of the world. So we decided to start the stream a little early because we just started talking about it. So just to recap, last week we kind of wrapped up last week's show talking about what movies we thought were underrated. Hold on, I get this right. Tom said the uncut version of Sucker Punch. Jack said Spring Breakers, and I said Upgrade. So those are the three kind of movies we're going to be generally discussing today. And I guess we'll go ahead, since we were talking about it in the green room, and go ahead and start with Jack's suggestion, which is Spring Breakers. So Jack, why don't you kind of give us and the audience a little brief summary about what is Spring Breakers?
Yeah, so Spring Breakers is a 2013 film directed by Harmony Korine. I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. And he's known for very controversial films. In the past, he made Gummo and Kids. Yes, and those were very, very controversial films that came out at the time. Spring Breakers was also pretty controversial, but not as much. What it is known for more so is being the first film, well, not the first, but one of the first films from A24, and it's essentially what put them on the map, what gave people, would make people notice them and distinguish them from other production companies. And what it's about is pretty simple. It's about four college-age girls, three of which stole a bunch of money and took their friend Selena Gomez, played by Selena Gomez, to California, where they get into even more trouble. And they meet James Franco, who by far is like the highlight of the film as Alien in his performance. Like, really funny guy. And uh, it's a, like Tom was mentioning this before, but it really is a time capsule of that specific era of of partying, and you don't really see that anymore, especially with how moralistic Hollywood is these days. Like, no titties, no attractive women.
Yeah.
That's so, yeah, Tom, you were kind of getting at that before we went live. You want to go ahead and finish, kind of restate and finish your thought?
Yeah, but definitely the music, it starts off with Skrillex, and then towards the very end of the movie, it has like an orchestral version of a Skrillex song. So it is that dubstep like era. And it's kind of weird because I mean, I wasn't old enough to go out to like spring break and stuff that year, but a few years later I did, and it was kind of similar. But that like era of partying and that kind of like vibe, that's not like a thing anymore. So it really is a time capsule. Like just the energy, and I mean, yeah, it's super over exaggerated because it's a movie. But one other thing I kind of liked about it, besides the nostalgic feel, was definitely it kind of reminds me of like a Terrence Malick movie. You know, it's
Mm,
not like super
it's very
linear.
dreamlike.
It
It's very
Yeah,
dreamlike in its presentation.
and I actually really like Terrence Malick movies. Even the ones that people hate, I still appreciate them because I like the fact that he's not very orthodox with the way he makes his movies.
What are some
It's
Terrence Malick movies? I don't recognize the name.
Tree of Life.
Thin Red Line. Yeah, Tree of Life, Thin Red Line. He did Badlands. I think Days of Heaven was one he did in the 70s. He did this one where it was about like Michael Fassbender, and he was like
Oh,
a
the
music.
sex movie.
No, not the sex
I think
movie.
there's
It's another. Well, there's sex in it, but it's basically like Paradise Lost, but it's modern day, and he's like Satan, and he's getting all these people to sign music record deals, and he's basically the devil, essentially. It was actually a pretty unique movie. I forgot what it was called, but his movies, a lot of people, they don't like them because they say they're very pretentious. But I like him because I like the way he makes his films. I love his cinematography. I love his direction style. And I love like the types of lenses he uses in his movies. You can tell right away it's his type of film when you see the shot. Like Night of Cups. Have you seen that? With
No.
I haven't seen
Christian
that.
Bale? Dude,
No.
I
so
will.
that movie isn't like the greatest thing ever, but it is very dreamlike and it's very beautiful. Like it's a very pretty movie. The cinematography, it's got Christian Bale in it. He's the main. It's basically the prodigal son, except modern day. Like that's the concept of the story. So it's pretty good. So I love those style of movies. So Spring Breakers, I forgot how much it's like that. It's very dreamlike. It's not linear, and I like movies that are like that. You know, it's because it's different, and it is going to piss people off, and it's going to make them mad. And I respect that. You know, I respect directors who don't care about pleasing everybody, and they want to actually make their version of art, even if I don't think it's that great all the time. That takes a lot of balls because you're involving a bunch of people and money, and it's a lot of time. So you got to respect it. So I like that about this film.
Yeah, you pretty much articulated what I find so underrated about Spring Breakers, because at the time a lot of people didn't really appreciate the story, but when you rewatch it, not just for the girls, you'll find that the presentation is just really unique, and there's nothing. There are very few films like it, and that really and the time period also adds to the experience, because it wasn't so far away, but we're so at the same time where we've lost that feeling.
Yeah, Tom and you, Jack, you also bring up a great point about how like that era. So it was like 2012. The soundtrack of the movie, it was like it opens with the Skrillex song. It ends with Lights by Eli Goulding, and it's such like it's just filled to the brim with 2011 bangers. And you think of that, you think of like Party Rockers in the House Tonight. And this movie visually kind of matches that. You know, it's like Miami, beach babes in like neon colored bikinis and stuff like that. It feels like a 2011 movie. I remember when Avatar: The Way of Water came out, which what did that come out in 2021? I remember seeing it, and I didn't like any of the Avatar movies, but I remember seeing it and being like, what I enjoyed about it is it felt like a movie from 2009. It felt like a movie from like the early aughts, and that's absolutely the experience that you're going to have going into this.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also in terms of its story, it's kind of a warning of hedonism, of not pursuing something for the sake of selfishness or greed. But it has a surprising like pro-Christian message with or subtext, at least, in the form of Selena Gomez's character, because she's someone that's like very driven by her faith, and she's actually the first of the girls to like say to leave and say this is dumb. Like I don't want any part of this. Bye. Which is very unexpected for a film like this. Like that the main the girl who's pretty much the main character just leaves halfway through.
Yeah, it's like, what's that other movie, Project X or Superbad? You know, it's like they give themselves over to the bad. This was just like dude, some guy bailed us out of jail, and then we're getting shot at. I'm getting the frick out of here. I think she was gone
Yeah.
before they got shot.
Yeah.
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 Another
Okay.
girl left when they did get shot. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. After I watched it, or at least rewatched it for this week, I looked up some stuff about it, and it was kind of funny because in Germany they had to make like when they released the movie, they made specific time cards for the very end of the film, like, or title cards, to kind of like just explain, oh, the girls in the Lamborghini, they got pulled over and got arrested, and they faced like 10 years in prison for their crimes. It was so they changed in Germany. They're like, they can't get away with this. They have to go to prison. So they just did a title card at the end, which I thought was funny. But this movie, yeah, like, it is the type of film where it starts and you think Selena Gomez is going to be the craziest one, because she is the Christian girl and she's like hiding that wild side. She's going to go there and she's going to be getting trains ran on her and doing coke. And I mean, honestly, it could be implied that she did some of that, but
That's what I thought was. That's exactly what I thought was going to happen.
but no, she's like, you know what? I'm going to leave. And I think the movie could have had a like a better emotional outcome from the story if the two girls who stayed at the end died instead of just driving off in a Lambo. But I mean, yeah, like the fact that Selena gets out of it, that is like a subversion of what you're thinking going into the film.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Go ahead, Jack.
Oh, I was just going to bring up how since Tom brought up the German censorship, or just the tile cards, I found an article written by James Franco himself in Vice for uh, for 2013, and he actually has like a funny story of how Werner Herzog called him, like famous documentary filmmaker. He called
I
him
love him.
and said, yeah, he called him and said that his performance in the film made Robert De Niro in Taxi Driver look like a kindergartner, and that the film was, and that Spring Breakers was the most important film of the decade. He says, imagine in a distinct German accent, 300 years from now, when people want to look back at this time, they won't go to the Obama inauguration speech. They will go to Spring Breakers. Like he actually said that.
Werner Herzog said that?
Yeah, according to James Franco and his Vice article I found.
I could totally
What a
see
legend.
someone asking Werner Herzog about that. He's like, what the fuck is Spring Breakers? I've never heard of this film. You know,
It's his favorite movie.
yeah,
After the Sherman talking about the Penguin, he's going to be talking about Vanessa Hudgens
yeah.
in the pool scene.
I like that Vanessa Hudgens girl. I want to be in a hot tub with her.
Peak
I need a shoe for her.
I see myself as James Franco in the movie. I am him. He is me. We're the Penguin. He is James Franco. All right.
Hell yeah, dude.
James Franco was so funny. Like his dialogue was so funny. Like, man, growing up in school, I was told to do the right thing. I said, bitch, I'm gonna do the wrong thing. They told me to change, and now I'm making change. Like I love that.
Bro,
Stack and change, yeah.
It's crazy because I know it's like it's a movie and it's supposed to be exaggerated, like performances and people. But looking back on it, because when I first saw the movie, it's when it came out. So I was like 15, 14 or whatever. But rewatching it now with like all the stuff that I've like gone through and people I've met people who are actually like these characters in real life. Mm-hmm. Like I know people who are almost like James Franco's character. Now they're not like rich or successful, but the way they talk, the way they think, and yeah, they're weird, but it's not like unbelievable. That's what I'm getting at. It's like, dude, there are people who are actually like that. And the girls too, like growing up, going through like parties and stuff, there are a lot of girls that are like that. They're just kind of slutty. They just want to party, drink, do drugs, and they'll fuck people over for whatever. Like, that's a thing. So I know a lot of people will said about the movie, it's like, oh, it's super unbelievable. And it's like, well, maybe like the shootout scenes,
In the
but like
end,
the
yeah.
actual characters, dude, I've met people who are just like that. It's pretty believable, you know? Personally, I know that's anecdotal, but I'm just saying, I've met dudes who are like James Franco in that movie. It's kind of weird, but it's hilarious.
Well, and it
Yeah.
is kind of funny what Jack brought up about Werner Herzog, because it does just feel like a documentary without narration, where it's just like, then this happened. You know, they got shot at by the black dude and a girl left, and now they're just continuing. All right, now we're going to get back in the hot tub, but it's just two girls now. Two girls and James Franco.
James Franco. All right. Now all right, so there are like some things that were kind of weird. Like the part where he's like deep throating the silencers. That part was a little weird. But
that was my favorite part. I'm kidding.
I think it just kind of shows that he's not like that hard. Yeah, he's crazy, but he is like kind of putting up a front, to be honest. He's just kind of weird. And then the only other thing that was like arguably bad is definitely Gucci Mane, because that dude cannot act. So
that was a black guy.
That's Archie in the movie. The dude who killed.
I think what Harmony Korine was trying to go for was like a Safdie brothers use of non-professional actors for authenticity, but he wasn't really threatening at all.
Yeah, he's like, I'll run these streets. These are my streets.
In the most bored, monotone voice possible, yeah.
Yeah, like who's that guy? He's been in so many things. The only thing I can really remember him from is he's in the Ant-Man movies and he's comedic relief. But that black guy,
Michael
you know
Pena?
who I'm talking?
No,
the black guy. The black guy.
The black guy or the Mexican guy?
The black guy.
I thought you were talking about Michael Pena.
He's Michael Pena's guy. Remember, there's like three guys. There's Michael Pena, that dude who's like he's in everything now, but he's always a side character. Like he plays Polka Dot Man in Suicide Squad, and then there's the black guy,
David
Dismulchin or something.
Dismulchin, yeah. That's him.
Anyway,
Is he a rapper?
No, I'm talking about the other white guy. But yeah, I'm just trying to come up with examples of like threatening black guys. You know what I mean? This guy, that they got, Gucci Mane. He didn't. He came across like an actor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I mean, it's kind of like how 50 Cent is an intimidating guy in real life, I'm sure, but whenever he's in movies, he's just like, "Hey, what's up, man?" You know, he's not like, "Motherfucker, I'm gonna kill your ass."
Yeah. I mean, I guess they picked Gucci because you could really tell like they were trying to get as many big names in that film as possible because the budget was really small. Like I think it was like a $5 million budget, and the movie looks pretty good for $5 million, even in 2000 standards. And they did make their money back. They made profit. And if you're thinking about it from a business perspective, A24, they're new. They need to make money. They need to make a bang. So they're going to get as many big names as possible. They got Selena Gomez. She's like at the height of her career. They got Vanessa Hudgenson. She just did High School Musical 3, all this shit. So she's popular as fuck. And they haven't done anything this crazy before. So people are going to be attracted to that. And then you get Gucci Mane, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like one of the bigger rappers at that time. So you throw their name. And James Franco was pretty popular back then too. He was. That was before he got Me Too'd and all that.
He got Me Too'd? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, bro.
His brother's still working though.
Damn.
Dave Franco, yeah.
Yeah. He got pretty bad.
I I'm trying to
It's pretty
think,
bad.
like, what was James Franco doing around that time? Because, like, the biggest things that come to mind are, like, Spider-Man, obviously, but the last one he was in came out in 2007. So this was, like 4 or 5 years later. What else was he
Yeah, I
doing?
mean,
I'm looking at it now. There's 127 hours where he played that hiker or like mountain climber
Oh.
who's trapped.
you know what
Rise of
else?
the
He
Planet of the
hosted
Apes.
yeah, he did Rise, and then he hosted the Oscars too. I think that year, and then he also did like right before or right after he did like Oz. He did like This Is the End, The Interview. So he was still kind of on the come up for his like peak. So he was technically like a rising star.
Yeah,
At this point.
dang, man. I remember I'm trying to remember, maybe you could pull it up, Jack, the years those movies came out. Like, when did the Wizard of Oz movie he was in come out? That had to be
I
like
think that came out
2012.
later.
That was
2013.
a year.
Oz the Great and Powerful. That was 2013. Yeah. So same year as Spring Break.
Dang.
Oh no, like a year after Spring Breakers.
So I'm telling you, man, Spring Breakers put him on the map, dog. Everybody saw that performance and they're like, we need him.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, James Franco. I don't have the timeline in front of me, but he was in like normal roles, like Spider-Man and stuff, and then he started to get comedic roles, like Pineapple Express and this. And I'm wondering which came first, because I mean, this Pineapple did okay because he's kind of playing a similar character in a serious role, you know.
Well, he got to start in Freaks and Geeks, the show with Seth Rogen.
Good point.
Yeah,
that was like a big thing too for all the people involved in that show. Because it was James
I don't know
Franco.
what that is.
It was dude, you've never seen
funny
Freaks
show.
and Geeks?
It lasted.
I've never even heard of it.
It got canceled, but it's one of those shows where even though it got canceled, it's very popular now. It's like a cult classic, and it has a bunch of actors. I can't remember some of the other ones. I think Seth Rogen was in there too. That's where
he was. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a bunch of people, and that's how they actually got into like the film industry and into like Hollywood, was with that show.
Okay. So I know we're getting off subject here, but it's a movie review show, so screw it. I'm gonna do a little Seth Rogen rant here for a quick second.
Okay.
Here's my problem with Seth, because everyone, like, no one likes Seth Rogen anymore.
That's my problem.
No. He's funny. I'll give him that. He can be funny, but here's the problem. For whatever reason, Seth Rogen wants to be the leading man in everything he does, which you can't really do. So Seth Rogen's best movie, in my opinion, is The Green Hornet. That is one of the best Seth Rogen movies ever. I know what y'all are thinking. That movie is genuinely funny, and I'll tell you why. Because Seth Rogen is playing the retard. Like I get Pineapple Express, where you've got James Franco, who's like a conventionally attractive person, being the like stoner, idiot, goofball comic relief, and Seth Rogen, this ugly Jew, being like the straight man, where he's like, what are we doing? What's going on here? You know, but then every movie after that was like that. Like, he can't, and I hated Pineapple Express. He can't play the straight man. He's a weird looking Jewish guy. And so like in Green Hornet, it works because he's an incompetent idiot, and his partner, Kato, who's like this ninja, you know, you're kind of seeing his goofiness through that guy's eyes. So that's why, like, Green Hornet's a good example of Seth Rogen being okay, but everything else, like all these other like personal projects of his, like Sausage Party, all that stuff, that's got to go, dude. That stuff is bananas.
Yeah. I liked him in Kung Fu Panda. Dude, Kung Fu Panda's goated, bro. I fuck with Kung Fu Panda hard.
I do too.
Kung Fu Panda is an absolute masterpiece, and I'm gonna be honest. Is there a fourth one? Okay, there is a fourth one. I haven't seen it, but the first
we don't talk about the fourth one.
Okay, is it bad?
That was bad.
It's
okay,
bad.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, but the other three are bangers, dude. All three of them are bangers.
Goated trilogy.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah. The first one is so good too. Like if you actually watch it, like the pacing of the movie, the story, the fight scenes, they're really good for a fucking kids movie, bro. For an animated film, it's like, all right, they
Dude.
did not have to even do half of this, and they were just like, fuck it, let's go all out, and went all out.
Tai Lung from the first movie had me being like, bro, get out of there. Like, I'd be gone too. You know, this guy's an Avengers level threat. We got to get out of here, man.
Dude, yeah, so good. So that's Seth Rogen was okay in that. He did a good job. But
how many speaking lines did he even have in the first movie? Like one?
No, he had like a couple lines. Yeah.
I'm thinking of the acupuncture scene. You know what I'm talking about, where they're doing acupuncture on him, and he goes like, "Buh," he makes like a funny face. So, what else is he? Anyway, but yeah, Kung Fu Panda's goated, dude.
Yeah,
love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess to move on from Spring Breakers, I would say if you want a double feature, I would say watch that and Michael Bay's Pain and Gain, which also came out
oh my God.
The same year or a year later, I believe. I think that's another underrated film that's pretty much the same in what it sets out to do.
Dude, I saw that in the Dollar Theater.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember dude, I was like, I like snuck into it with like some friends and we were just being stupid, but I liked it. Yeah. Pain and Gain was good.
I haven't seen it in so long. I just remember being like grossed out by it. I remember like there was a scene where Anthony Mackie was like masturbating and I was like, okay, all right.
Oh,
or trying to.
There's I think, is that Anthony or is that
Anthony Mackie? Yeah. Oh well, yeah. There's Mark Wahlberg, Anthony Mackie, and Dwayne the Rock Johnson. They're the ones starring.
But I think they all have like scenes where they try jerking off because their dicks don't work. That's I remember that from the theater. I was like,
Anthony Mackie is the one. Anthony Mackie.
Anthony
Wacky.
Yeah.
But he's the one that has like this relationship with Rebel Wilson back when she was fat, and he was the one with the weird sex subplot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did love the guy who they he's Monk, the guy who they like tried to kill him.
Yeah.
That guy was funny, dude. He was my favorite part of the movie. He's just such an asshole. He talks
about how he doesn't want to eat salad. He's like, salad's for poor people.
Yeah. That was so good. So to transition into our other underrated movies, we're going to save the best for last. So we're going to talk about Upgrade right now. Upgrade was my pick. And so just a brief kind of description of that. Upgrade is about this guy. It kind of takes place in a like slightly more advanced future than we have now. There's like automated cars. There's police like surveillance drones that go around, but it's not too different than what we experience today. And this guy, his wife works for some company. She's like some robotics executive. And they get into a car accident and they get like murdered. Like some people mug them after the car accident. Wife gets killed and he gets paralyzed in the incident. A billionaire benefactor that he knew, that the main character knew because he like builds fancy cars, gives him this computer chip that reconnects his severed spine and manually controls his body for him. Now he experiences it like everyone else does because it's like reading his intention and then translating it to it. But he can like talk to him. It's kind of like Eddie Brock and Venom from the Venom movies. You know, like he can hear a voice in his head and but he can give remote access of his body completely over to the computer, which like basically turns him into this badass fighter because the computer can like perfectly, you know, like do all these fight moves and stuff. And it's him basically investigating in more detail about his wife's murder, and mysteries abound. So that's the plot of Upgrade. And I remember when this movie came out, I was like, I recommended it because it is just a fun movie. Like everyone who's already seen it, like no one hates this movie. It's just like a fun action flick with a good ending. I is this A24? No, or this is Blumhouse, I think. I think this is a Blumhouse movie. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's y'all's opinion of Upgrade? Any takes on Upgrade?
Yeah, it's a pretty great action movie with an unexpected twist in the end. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's really cool. I remember the first time I saw it, I didn't even want to watch it because I thought it was going to be stupid. And my friend was telling me, no, it's really good. Trust me. And so they got me to watch it. And I was like, holy shit, this is actually cool. Like, this movie is cool. The fight scenes are cool. The story is cool. Honestly, one of my favorite parts from the movie is actually the car crash, like the way they did the car crash, because it's the AI car and it just gets taken over. And it's like, dude, that's like a real thing that's going to be happening in the future, like guaranteed with like all the AI stuff. But like the way they did it, I really liked it. And it's very enjoyable. And I also like the cinematography a lot in Upgrade.
I was just going to say the cinematography during the fight scenes, like how the camera, like he does like a backflip or whatever. He like bends really far backwards and the camera like follows like the motion of his head. And, you know, like it's kind of like going with the motion of his body and everything. It's a really visually fun movie. And I was caught off guard. A part that always got me is I thought, seeing the trailer, this looks like just a fun action flick. And then in the first fight scene where the computer takes over his body and starts fighting on his behalf, he's fighting a dude and he straight up grabs like a kitchen knife and like cuts the dude's head in half from the mouth. And I was just, it was kind of like a flashbang because I wasn't expecting it. I was like, yo, what the frick?
Yeah, but I also liked how non-pretentious it was as a sci-fi story. It's very easy. The overall message or just idea of it is very easy to understand. It's warning us that if we gradually outsource our thinking to like machines or AI, it may end up doing all of our thinking for us, which is a really which is a very increasingly real possibility with our over reliance on it. At least when we use it for like when we use things like Chat GPT or something.
Yeah, I mean, that is something that happens. They've done like studies on it already. People who are constantly like asking Grok on Twitter is like, Grok, is this real? Or Chat GPT. I think they came out with a study last year. It makes you like stupid. It really does. If you can't research stuff and learn stuff on your own, it will make you over reliant on it. And if you have a generation of kids that are going to grow up with like iPads and phones and all of that is going to have AI now, they're going to be completely reliant on AI 100%. They're not going to be able to do anything.
The kids these days, they're so fried. And what you're seeing now is like people my age, like people in their late 20s that are having kids now, they're like refusing to like give their kids electronics, which is a good thing because these kids that are older, that like a few years older than them, they literally like can't speak. Their brains are like their attention spans are so fried from like the parents just giving them iPads and stuff. It's crazy. And it's actually funny. This is a total aside, but my dad is like a big conspiracy guy, and he actually found out about Chat GPT in its like beta, like before anyone knew what it was, and he told me about it. And this was like 2022, 23, like early 23. I was working as a reporter in Boone, North Carolina, and
wow,
the job sucked. and the boss sucked and I hated it. Like it's a small mountain town. There's nothing to do. So I just was using Chat GPT to write all my stories for me. And I of course, even back then you had to edit it, you had to proofread it. But I was like, I found the golden goose for like getting all my work done. And then people started talking about it. And I was like, shit, the gig is up.
That's crazy. That's a funny story. I didn't know that about you, man. That's kind of crazy. But I mean, I feel like most articles are written by AI now.
I'm sure they are. I actually got in trouble once at the job because there was a nearby town called West Jefferson, and their main like economy was based around a lumber yard. They were like a lumber town. That was their whole economy. And one night their lumber yard like completely went up in flames. There was like people were taking videos from their homes, like people had to be evacuated. It was crazy. So the next day I go there and I'm like taking interviews, I'm taking pictures, talking with firemen, all that stuff. And I got in trouble because I named my article like West Jefferson Chernobyl. And
oh my God.
They didn't like that. And I was like, in hindsight, I was like, okay, I get it. But I thought it was clever. I thought it was creative.
I mean that is creative. I could see
just
why
a little bit in poor taste, I guess.
It was worth it.
Worth it, yeah.
It's for the lore.
Yes,
for the lore.
Lore building.
Upgrade though was it's a great movie, and I feel like it's one of those films that, like, when I was watching the trailers and stuff, and I was completely like uninterested in it. I feel like that's the idea most people have from the movie without watching it. It's one of those films where you really just have to give it a shot. You really just have to sit down and give it a chance. And I think it's very underrated because it didn't make that much money.
So last night, during or after me and Atlas Thug did Groiper Report, we were talking about, today's episode of Real Talk. I was like, yeah, we're doing underrated films. We're going to be talking about Spring Breakers, Sucker Punch, and Upgrade. And Atlas goes, Upgrade, isn't that movie with Tom Hardy? And I was like, no, it's not Tom Hardy. And he was like, yeah, it is. It is. We were like kind of arguing. Like, is it? He was like, it is Tom Hardy. And it's funny because I thought the same thing when I saw the trailer. I was like, Tom Hardy looks really skinny, but the main actor from this, I don't know his real name, but he is like a 1-to-1 copy of Tom Hardy. He looks like a younger, or at least back then, younger Tom Hardy. I think he's in Spider-Man Homecoming too.
Really?
Yeah. He's
Timu Tom Hardy.
Timu Tom Hardy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah,
I'm looking up his Wikipedia page. He's let's see who he played. He played the Shocker.
Yeah.
Or the first
Spider-Man.
one that got killed.
Yeah.
Before he got replaced by the second one. Yeah.
So yeah, Upgrade's good. Upgrade, it's just kind of a fun, dumb action flick. It's got a good twist ending. We won't spoil. Interesting movie, fun concept, and great action. So with that being said, we're going to transition into Tom's pick, Sucker Punch. So Tom, give us a little bit of a rundown on what is Sucker Punch, the extended cut.
Okay, so first of all, what is Sucker Punch? It's a Zack Snyder film. Zack Snyder, which a lot of people, they hear that name and they think Watchmen, they think 300, they think shitty zombie movies. And they don't really think about Sucker Punch. And I honestly, in my opinion, to me, Sucker Punch is his magnum opus. I think this is his best film that he's made.
Really?
Visually, I like the concept. I think it's very creative. And basically, it's about a young girl that gets, she's being like abused by her father. And her father ends up getting her locked into an institutional facility. And in this institutional facility, it takes place kind of like in the early like 19, I think it's like the 1940s or 50s. It's like a kind of weird time period. And in this institutional facility, it's a bunch of like young women that are all very, very beautiful. And it's run by Oscar Isaac, who he's like the warden of the facility. And what he does is he pimps these women out to like rich men, and the women, as like a way of coping, they start kind of escaping into like these dreamlike worlds. And in these dreamlike worlds, they do like insane, crazy shit. They get into like these battles, they fight all these things, and visually it's like a feast. Like the visual effects, the cinematography, this film, like I don't think there's too many movies that look like this, and even kind of like compared to it, it's very its own thing. And I mean, like the women are beautiful, dude. Like if you're talking about Spring Breakers with hot chicks, Vanessa Hudgens, she's in this one. You got Emily Browning as Baby Doll. She's the blonde chick on the cover and with the katana in the 1911. And it's just cool. And I mean, the whole point of the story is these girls, they try to come up with a way of escaping, and they have like these plans of how they can get like keys and stuff and how they have to like run away. And as they enact their plans, they are like slipping into this dream state. So they're imagining like fantasy worlds and stuff like that. So it's a very different type of movie, but it's like once you watch it, you see what I'm talking about. You're like, oh my gosh, this is cool. Like they're fighting World War II trench zombies, and there's like the Asian chick has like a mech, and they're fighting dragons and orcs, and it's like, and it actually works because of the story, like what they're going through. They're imagining these things. It's like, yeah, like you can do all this in one movie because of what's happening to them. And then with the extended cut, the reason why you have to watch that version of the film is because the theatrical version cuts out an entire plot line and character from the movie because they wanted to get a PG-13 rating. And the character they cut out is John Hamm's character, who is the dude who he is coming to lobotomize one of the girls in the film.
Mm.
And so there's like this time, there's like this countdown of time for the women. They have like a reason to leave. They need to get out because they need to save themselves, or at least save this one girl from getting lobotomized. And in the theatrical version, that whole plot line is cut out. So you don't have that sense of urgency for them. So it doesn't really make as much sense. And they take out all the scenes. I'm not going to spoil everything, but they take out a bunch of scenes at the end. So if you're going to watch the movie, you got to watch the extended cut 100%.
So,
but what did you guys think?
So, full disclosure, I watched both of these movies today. I had not seen Spring Breakers or Sucker Punch before, and I could not find the extended edition of Sucker Punch.
Same for me. I couldn't find it anywhere.
So
what?
Yeah. But what I did was I looked up YouTube videos and I looked up to find as much as I could about the extended cut. And I watched a bunch of scenes with the John Hamm character in them. And to say that this is Zack Snyder's magnum opus, that's a hot take, dude. I want to hone in on that because Zack Snyder, also, it seems like Zack Snyder, he makes these like 5-hour long movies. It's like every one of his movies always has some extended cut, you know, Justice League. Did Watchmen have one? I guess it didn't.
It had cut scenes. Yeah.
Schneider,
the director's cut's like the best version
of all his movies. But I did kind of like what you said, Tom. I loved all of the crazy things that they were experiencing, you know, like their escape plan, but they're experiencing with this like sheen of these fantasy worlds. And it was really, really fun. Like at one point, I think they're getting keys, and what they do is they kill in the fantasy. They kill a dragon, and it has like these crystals in its neck, and they have to cut it out. And the crystals are like what makes the dragon fire. It was a very like visually interesting and colorful movie. I love personally. I don't know about you guys. I love movies with like extravagant, bright color palettes, which Zack Snyder's films typically don't. But when they are in the fantasies, it's very, very bright and colorful. It still has like gray in it and stuff. But yeah, anyway, that's my little take on it.
Yeah, well, my own take on it is I thought, like, originally when I saw it, I thought it was just like, oh, dumb action schlock. But Zack Snyder tried to. This is an aspect a lot of people miss, including myself, is that he tried to make a film raising awareness of this one practice called monarch mind control. I don't know if you've heard about this before, Tom, but essentially what monarch mind control is, it's sort of inspired by MK Ultra. So it's a conspiracy theory alleging a covert government program, often linked to the CIA's MK Ultra, designed to create super spies or slaves with multiple trauma-induced personalities. Proponents claim this involves systemic abuse, such as in Kathy O'Brien's Transformation of America, but scholars characterize these claims as baseless, lacking evidence, and a form of moral panic. So throughout the film, like as you guys said, they flee. Like the female characters are put through traumatic experiences, and they try to escape that by fleeing into worlds they conjured up in their imagination. But it's sort of the film kind of frames that as them playing into their abusers or the insane asylum doctor's hands. And it's supposed to, what I got out of it is that it's supposed to be a commentary of how if even if you like escape, it's about fake empowerment essentially. If even if you're a whore in a whorehouse with a high opinion of herself, at the end of the day, you're still a whore. It sounds harsh, but that's like it sounds harsh, but that's like what the best way I could articulate it.
I love it. I love it, Jack. I wouldn't have said it any better myself. Can you go ahead and just say you're still a whore one more time?
Even if you're a whore in a whorehouse with a high opinion of yourself, you're still a whore.
You see, you say it like a doctor, you know, like you're like diagnosing someone with okay, I went over your sheet here and it says you're a whore, you know.
Yeah, but dang, that's crazy. You guys didn't find the
Well, where did you watch the extended cut?
Yeah, is it on YouTube?
So I have it on Blu-ray. I have the because I have like the different versions on Blu-ray, but I think they're on Amazon Prime. I don't know if you guys have Amazon Prime, but I'm sure
I don't.
But I mean, I haven't seen the theatrical version since it came out in theaters, and that was like 2011. So the only version I've seen over the years is the extended cut, but it's also been a while since I've seen the movie because I thought today we were just going to talk about Spring Breakers. I didn't know it was going to be all three films. So I was going to wait to rewatch it. But yeah, I mean, you could say like the commentary is definitely, they're just kind of in a situation where the empowerment is false. Like the MK Ultra stuff, I never heard anything about that in regards to the movie, but the reason why I like it so much is just because of how creative it is. I love the visual style of the film. I really like the way Zack Snyder does a lot of his movies from a visual standpoint, but usually I don't really like his characters or the stories at all. But this was one of those movies where I like all the characters. I like how crazy it gets. I love the visual effects. I love the pacing of the film, and the extended cut. It's really, in my opinion, the better version of the film. I haven't seen the theatrical version in a long time, but I don't remember the lobotomy stuff being in that version of the film. Was it in the version of the film?
Let
Did
me.
they have?
In the theatrical version,
Yeah. Did y'all see all
Uh,
the stuff with that in the movie, or did you have to watch the deleted scenes?
I thought it was in it because like she
it
was
was.
she
It
was
was.
being like baby doll, like she was being strapped and prepared for a lobotomy, but then she frames it in her alternate imagination world. It's like it's used as a premise for an erotic dance routine. Do you guys remember that? Like
Yeah, the scene where she
Yeah.
fights the ninjas.
yeah.
D- So it
Or
was in there. It was mentioned, but it was one of those things where it's like they showed like someone. It was like the dad talking about it, but not like John Hamm's character wasn't in it at all.
okay, because that's the thing is like it kind of changes the ending, and that's why it's it's kind of hard. Like I mean, if I don't think people would care if I spoiled it, but she gets like John Hamm's character. He comes in. There's a whole scene where she gets strapped to like the actual chair, and she gets lobotomized. Like he sticks a needle in her fucking eye and fucking like fucks her up.
Yeah, and I watched the scene where he's doing his whole speech about like there's no better thrill than to like have a woman completely give herself over to a man or something like that. You know, this was kind of a female empowerment movie. Now where most conservative like people might like, you know, they might just say that's bad outright, but I get the appeal of it. Like it was definitely fun.
A lot of feminists, though, they were still upset by it because there's a lot of
Oh yeah.
fan service in it. So they're like, "You're why are you having these trauma victims like show off their skin? What's wrong with you? Like a pig, you Zack Snyder, you disgusting chauvinist pig, or
But
whatever."
dude, how else you supposed to get us caring about the characters? It's like it's important.
Well, and I did see an interview from one of the actresses where she, like, someone asked her that. They're like, so this is a woman empowerment film, but you guys are in like bikinis and like dominatrix outfits. And she's like, no, that's like a part of it. Like, where women are like comfortable in that. You know, if that's what make you comfortable, then you should do it. And it's like she was like, as a girl, my superhero costume was like Wonder Woman, where, you know, you saw her like whole legs and everything. You know what I mean? I didn't want to be covered up.
Mm.
Yeah, see the female empowerment stuff, it's like, yeah, of course they're gonna like it
Yeah.
does have that aspect to the film. And of course, like in interviews when they're selling the movie, they're gonna say all that. But the way I kind of look at this movie is to me, it's almost like an anime movie. The way like the idea, the
I can
concept,
see that.
it's like you watch anime and it's like, yeah, they have the girl characters are always dressed like this. They're always like that's what it is. It's like an American anime real life movie, and that's why I
I,
like it so much
I guess you could
from a
compare
visual
it to
standpoint.
Alita. I guess you could compare it to the live action Alita Battle Angel if you've seen that.
Oh,
I'm not seeing it.
yeah, with the Robert Rodriguez, his movie.
Yeah, that was that also a James Cameron directed movie?
No, he produced it. He
Oh, he
produced it.
produced it. Okay.
Robert Rodriguez directed it.
Okay, okay.
That one
What's
was
a
pretty.
Go ahead.
No, no, no. What were you saying?
I was gonna say I remember in like the like 2015, 17, like that era, there was a lot of like live action remakes of popular animes, like is it Under the Skin? Or Ghost in a Shell. Ghost in a
Yeah,
Shell.
Ghost
That's
in
what
the
I'm thinking
Shell.
of.
Oh yeah,
Under the Skin is a good movie with Scarlett Johansson though. Very good.
they're both Scarlet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. So
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna be honest. I watched Under the Skin years ago when it came out. What is the point? Why is it good,
Under
Jack?
Under the Skin?
Yeah.
It's a very artsy film, but
I agree.
what I liked about was its surrealism of this of Scarlett Johansson just prostituting herself for guys and luring them uh to her alien lair where she melts them in acid. That was like very creepy and bizarre. But then she starts to feel bad when she meets the one deformed guy, and then she runs away. And I think it needs a deep dive to properly understand it because it's been so long. But I remember being I just remember being impressed by it.
I remember I walked in and my dad was watching it and I was like, "Oh, Scarlett Johansson naked. I'm down." And then we just watched it and I was like, "What the hell is happening?" Like until just now I didn't even know it was an alien movie.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, she's a seductive alien. I remember wanting to
Interesting.
watch that because she was just hot. I was like, Scarlet.
Yeah,
I'll
dude,
see.
have y'all seen Asteroid City?
Yes,
No.
I love Wes Anderson. I love Wes Anderson movies, even when people call him pretentious.
So, I watched Asteroid City when it came out cuz I loved the visuals, you know. It was actually is not a very good Wes Anderson film, but
Mm.
you do see Scarlett Johansson full frontal nudity, and it was like, I wish we could have gotten this years ago, but I'll take what I can get.
Josh, if you want a better film that that goes for what Asteroid City is going for, I would say check out Nocturnal Animals with Jake Gyllenhaal.
I
Oh,
feel
that's
like
a
I've heard
Tom
of
Ford.
that.
That's
Well,
directed by
Have you
that Tom Ford.
yeah, have you heard
what's
of
that
it?
about?
Oh no. The one I'm talking about is from 2016. It's yeah, it's
It's
directed
not
by
Nightcrawler, right?
no. Nightcrawler is good though. So, Nocturnal Animals is a successful Los Angeles art gallery owner's idyllic life being marred by the constant traveling of her handsome second husband. While he is away, she is shaken by the arrival of a manuscript written by her first husband, who she has not seen for years. And it, that might sound boring, but it dives into the manuscript and it becomes a second movie where it follows Jake Gyllenhaal, who whose family gets kidnapped and murdered by Aaron Taylor Johnson and his associate, his criminal associates. And what it essentially is the art gallery owner's first husband articulating through this story what her affair or her breaking up with him did to him did to him like it felt like she killed him or it's like she killed she killed a part of him essentially. And I think with Asteroid City, it tries to do something similar by pointing out the power of fiction and how it can make an impact. But Nocturnal Animals does that far better, I would say.
Okay. I mean, the story of Nocturnal Animals sounds a lot more interesting. Like I said,
Yeah.
because like Wes Anderson movies, they're very hit or miss. I've not seen the Phoenician Scheme or Game or whatever it's called.
Hmm.
What was I did really enjoy Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah, that's
Oh
a
yeah.
top 10. That's a top 10 Wes Anderson film. The Fantastic Mr. Fox is also up there as one of his greats.
Oh, dude, I love that movie so much.
Is Isle of
Why are you
Dogs one
taking
of
your
his
shoes
too?
off?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
love
that's one of
dogs.
his
Okay.
too.
I've not seen Isle of Dogs, but I've seen bits and pieces of
What?
Mr. Fox. Tom goes,
Dude, you've
"What?"
Yeah,
only Bro, come on, man. Dude,
yeah, I
Fantastic Mr. Fox is so good. I love that movie. I love
yeah,
the part where
I
he's like, "Why are you taking your shoes off so I don't break your nose when I kick it?"
yeah, I, I, I love Wes Anderson. I can understand why people don't like him. I think he's an acquired taste.
Sure. I love, dude. Grand Budapest Hotel is Kinoflex. I love, dude. I died laughing at the part where I forget the main character's name, but it's Ralph Fiennes. He's like hanging off a cliff, and Willem Dafoe is like breaking it, you know. And then
Yeah, dude.
he's like quoting, he's like saying all these like dust that, he's like quoting Shakespeare or whatever. And then Zero pushes Willem Dafoe off the cliff. He's like, "Holy shit, you got him! Well done, Zero."
Dude.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a great movie.
yeah, it stands. It stands on its own for its story, but it also, I view it as a great love letter to Germanic culture before World War One occurred. I think that's like the historical context in which the story takes place too. Like it's a love letter to that era before it was changed through the war.
Hmm.
There's a
Yeah,
lot.
because go ahead.
There's a lot of films like we're mentioning like that could be provided with much more insight and bigger deep dives, but we only have so much time.
Yeah, I was. You've been kind of quiet, Tom. You got any thoughts?
Oh, I got lost there for a second. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's all good.
Um,
So, all right, I have an idea.
Yeah.
So let's transition a little bit because now we're kind of past all the movies we were, supposed to talk about, and let's liven it up a little bit here before we wrap. I'm trying to figure out, with John being gone, what are we gonna do for Real Talk regularly? And I'm thinking, what would be a really fun thing to do for next time is maybe we can do this Thursday. Maybe we'll have to do Sunday again. But I want to do kind of an evening stream where we, you guys, if you're cool with it, we'll set some time aside. It doesn't even have to be this upcoming week, but I want to do a rewrite session with y'all if y'all are down. So
oh,
Okay.
what the
Which
idea
movie?
is so let's just brainstorm here. Do we want to do the like I'm thinking through it live here, but it's like, do we want to do here's a movie we would remake and here's how I would remake it, and then we do our own individual ones, or do we want to pick one movie and we each do what our versions of it would be? What's y'all's input on that?
ooh.
I had to come up with one I want to
We
remake.
we could all do our own,
Like,
and then we can.
okay.
Yeah,
So
because I'm
so
sure we all have movies that we would want to be different.
yeah, because me and Jack and I, we talked about doing something like this, but things keep happening in
With
my
the
life,
thing.
and I don't have the money to fly him down here. So we'll post. We won't do the thing, Jack. We're saving that for the real
For
official
later.
video, or the thing 2011. But I know which one I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to do. If I was making the 2025 Superman, what would I do? So that's what I'm excited to talk about, because I could.
Mm,
It's my version of Superman, which like Superman can be done right,
I agree.
but it's difficult to do, and I was not a fan of what's his name?
James Gunn.
James Gunn. Yeah,
Yeah, David Cornsweet.
didn't
His
like it.
portrayal of Superman.
David Cornsweet's fine. I didn't like the performance, but that's not his fault. That's the writing's fault. You know what I mean? Because David Cornsweet's a good actor. He's really good in Pearl. So I'd be fine. Like, he's perfect. Like, I think he's a greatly cast Superman. It's just the movie he's in is
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Jack? Do you have a movie?
Off the top of my head, I'm just thinking of Joker 2.
Mm, that's a good one, bro. That's a really good movie. All right, well, not
Yeah,
a
'cause
really
the-
good movie. That's
A
a really
good-
good movie to rewrite.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
good pick.
because my most popular video is related to Joker 2 because I'm responding to bad defenses of it. So that'd be a good idea
Oh.
for a rewrite.
Yeah, you could, because I've not seen it because it sounded just god awful.
Yeah, because like it's so obvious, like what you have to do. It's just to continue where the first one left off with having the Joker, with having Arthur live his life as the Joker, like and explore the consequences of being the Joker.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
this
again,
very rare.
if you guys change your mind before we actually do this next video, no worries. We're just kind of brainstorming here. Tom, do you have any ideas?
I'm trying to, because that's a really good one as Joker too. But I'm trying to think, because it is kind of just like on the spot. But like a movie I would rewrite would probably be either Force Awakens or maybe Matrix 4. Maybe
Ooh.
Matrix Resurrections. Yeah, I
yeah,
hated
the
Matrix Resurrections. Yeah, that's shit.
yeah. I get like there's those people that defend it and they say, "Oh, well, the
It's
director
supposed to be
made it
bad on
so bad
purpose.
so that way they won't make any." And it's like, "Bro, yeah, shut up." It's like, dude, I could say that about any movie, literally, that sucks. You could say that about anything. But either like one of those or maybe what's like a movie that was just like fuck, this could have been better. Definitely maybe Silent Hill, the new Silent Hill, because that
Okay.
that had
Oh,
every reason to actually be good, and every creative change the director made was worse than the game. It's one of the biggest pieces of dog shit I've ever seen.
I feel
So it
like
could be
I feel like
Silent Hill.
I feel like with a lot of video game adaptations, with an actual narrative behind it or a noticeable narrative behind it, the answer is to just make a straight adaptation of the game's narrative, and not
Mm,
make stupid, unnecessary changes with it.
I think it's just because they don't trust audiences to kind of get it. And so they feel the need to switch things up because they're like, we'll have to choose because the game has different endings. So you got to choose one. But instead of choosing one, they made up their own. And it's like, but I don't know. I don't think that'd be a good pick because my answer is just going to be make the video game. So it's not that interesting, you know, of a video to
Yeah.
talk about or a movie. But there's a
hmm.
lot of options. I don't know which one I would pick, but I'll find something
Yeah,
because
because I
there's
was
so
gonna
many.
say that's something, the Star Wars thing. That's something Atlas and I have talked about doing a rewrite thing because like we both have like ideas for if you were pitching an idea for the sequel trilogy, what would your idea be? You know what I mean? Like, what would you like completely like? Because obviously what was it, Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker was just god awful. So it's like, what would your concept for what's going on in the Star Wars universe after Return of the Jedi? That's something we could dedicate like a whole show to, with like we each give our own
Yeah.
ideas and stuff. And I want to get Atlas in on that because he likes that kind of stuff. So
Yeah,
we'll
and
save that for
maybe
another
like
time.
yeah, and maybe not the Matrix either because like honestly what you would do if you were going to like cuz the Matrix the way it works is like with the trilogy is if it was going to happen again it would just repeat cuz if you see like Matrix Reloaded there's like different variations of Neo and they all like fail. So it would just kind of circle back around and it would just be the same three movies technically. So there really is no need for a fourth Matrix.
Hmm.
I'll find something. I'll figure something out. There's a lot of movies out there that need to be rewritten.
It needs to be redone.
All right,
Uh,
look forward to it.
what's the one
Yes.
I'm thinking of? The Nuremberg trials. They need to be redone.
Bro, hell yeah. We'll do that. I'll do that one. Hitler rises from the grave and
Hitler
I,
too.
I, I
Mecha Hitler. He's resurrected. His head's it's in a jar. Oh. Well,
yeah.
okay. Well, you haven't seen the show, but I was gonna say, what would you do if you were making Fallout, Tom? That could be a good one.
Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah. There's a lot I would do
And
differently.
and
Especially
there's
with
no
the
rules here. If you were like, if they were gonna make a Fallout movie or a Fallout show, here's what my idea would be. That could be fun. But again, you do whatever you want.
But yeah,
Okay. I'll come
you
up with something.
you guys bringing up resurrected Hitler reminds me. Now, I don't mean to change this. I don't mean to change this conversation significantly, but there's this obscure film franchise I've recently come across called Iron Sky, and one of its
Oh,
sequels,
Yes.
space ones.
one of its sequels features reptilian celebrities such as like a reptilian Steve Jobs, reptilian Margaret Thatcher, and the ringleader is reptilian Hitler.
I've not seen the movies, but I know about them where it's like the Nazis escaped to the moon after World War II and the Nazis were
Oh,
aliens the whole time, or Hitler was an alien reptile the whole time.
yeah, a lot of people haven't seen these movies, so I think that would be like a good real talk episode, just giving out reviews of this of films in in that franchise.
I didn't know there
It
was more
seems pretty
than
wild.
one.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Yeah, I thought it was just like the older one. Because I remember the poster with the chick on it. It's got like the Hitler chick or whatever. The Nazis?
Dude,
Yeah,
I don't know
okay,
why.
so
Go ahead. Go ahead.
there's Iron Sky, Iron Sky the Ark, Iron Sky the Coming Race.
Holy
Yeah,
shoot. That's crazy. There's I don't know why, but that reminded me of a show. It was very short-lived, and I think it was a Hulu original. I'm trying to find it now. It's Bryan Cranston
man
is the
in
main
the
character. Bryan
oh.
Cranston animated superhero comedy show. Super Mansion. That's what it was. Did y'all ever see that
Superman.
show?
No. Was it good?
Was it on Was it on Adult Swim?
I think so. The first season, I can't vouch for the others, but the first season is really funny. It reminded me of that. There's like, because it's like, here's this, like, they're like parody versions of the characters. So like Bryan Cranston plays the Superman character, but he's like old, he's like in his 80s now. And instead of him being like from space, he's from like a civilization that lives at the center of the earth. It's a comedy show, but like Nazi dominatrix woman reminded me of that because that's like one of the characters in it. She's like a lizard or like a cockroach Nazi woman. Fun show.
Yeah, I'm reminded of The Awesomes, which is a very unfunny show. It was also on Hulu, but the SNL cast, it was from a bunch of SNL cast members playing animated versions of themselves as superheroes. Very unfunny. Don't recommend it.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. But all right, guys, I think we're going to wrap up there. We'll be back with our rewrite version of Real Talk before too long.